I believe that it's God's will that we get our building opened back up. We're going to do it wisely. We've tried to be very cautious over the last few months. Much of the instruction I'm about to quickly give was emailed to all of our members on Thursday, April 30. If you got that, and that's one of those emails you said, there's too much there, I'm not going to read it, I would recommend you look it over. Much of what we're saying is right there in that email. Now, we've not stopped having services, but we've been unable to physically meet here in our church auditorium. The decision of our not meeting in the auditorium was not made by our government. It was made by our church leadership in an effort to keep our membership safe, who we love dearly. You have to understand something. If somebody out there has not told us the truth about this pandemic, woe is them. We've tried to act upon what information was given to us. Now, we certainly respect the president's opinion and position, but the government's opinion is superseded by our Bible and our love for our people. And I'll say this, church is essential. Now, we've been advised by the Christian Law Association, and by the way, in some great detail, we've been advised by our church insurance agency, which also is a Christian organization. We have communicated with our local sheriff's department, and I want to make something very clear. I did not have to do any of that. I thought that was a wise thing to do. Let some people guide us. And as a result of that, we have placed a plan into process for the opening or the further opening of the Twin Rivers Baptist Church here in New Bern, North Carolina. Now, let me explain some things. At this time, there's some things that we're not going to do, and this has to do with our different ministries. Listen carefully. We will not be conducting Twin Rivers Baptist Academy at this time. We're not conducting Youth Ablaze at this time. We're not conducting the King's Kids Ministry at this time, the Flyers Club, the Bus Ministry. The individual Sunday school class ministry will not function right now. What will happen is everybody, when they come in on a Sunday morning during the Sunday school hour, I'll teach the lesson, and everybody, I'll just be the teacher for everyone. That's what we've been doing for the last few weeks. We're not going to have our Wednesday night choir practices. We're not going to have our Sunday night choir practice. We're not going to have our Wednesday night Sunday school teachers meeting. We're not going to have baptisms at this moment. We're not going to have nurseries at this moment. We'll conduct no weddings, no Lord's Supper at this time, any other extracurricular church activities. Now, all of those listed ministries that I just gave you will be phased back in stages and as soon as we think it's safe and wise. Now, we will start conducting the following ministries on our property again. We'll be practicing social distancing, and of course, there'll be smaller groups of people. With our social distancing, you'll see this sign. It just says, please practice social distancing, and we'll have these in different places in the church just to remind us that that's what we're going to do. Now, we are meeting our Thursday night soul winning meeting in room 109. We started that on the 23rd of April at 7 p.m. Practical Bible Baptist College. Our classes are they're smaller in number right now, and so we started having classes again on the 27th of April. This next Saturday, our bus workers will meet at 10 a.m. That's our normal time. We will be utilizing the auditorium, and that way we can spread that group of people out, and we would practice social distancing. But we are not going to run the bus routes, but the bus workers will meet. Now, next Sunday night, the 10th of May, we are going to have our first service back here in our auditorium and our other rooms. Then that following Wednesday night, the 13th, at 7 p.m., again, the following Sunday. So what we're doing is starting a week from today, that Sunday night, a week from tonight, on a Sunday night, we'll open up and we'll start having Sunday school and our regular church services at their regular time. Now, they'll not be conducted exactly in their regular way. As I just said, our first church service, where we'll meet physically as a church family here in the auditorium and in a couple extended rooms, will be Sunday night, 7 p.m. on the 10th of May. Now, you say, why are we starting on a Sunday night? Well, there are generally a few less people at our evening services, and this will be a trial run with our new social distancing and our other safety practices in place. So we've chosen that date to reopen. Now, also, our governor said he plans to begin his reopening process of our state on the 8th. We'll open our church up on the 10th. But I want you to listen. We will reopen next Sunday night with the firm belief that the church is essential. And so, that's a big deal to us. Now, we'll continue to live stream our public services until we feel like our members are all able to rejoin us in the auditorium safely. Now, I didn't say we would wait until everybody came back to church, because there's some that don't come anyway. But we're going to keep live streaming, because there will be some that will feel uncomfortable and some that are maybe a little more high risk that we would even recommend not come. So we'll keep on live streaming. Now, let me give to you, if I could, our public service, our guidelines. Now, we hope that these are only needed for a short time. Now, I'm going to tell you, I just preached a whole sermon about inconvenience. Some of these are going to be a little inconvenient, but it's what I think we need to do, and with multiple recommendation, if we want to get back to normal soon, these are the things I think we need to do. Let me say this. Anyone who considers themselves high risk, in relation to the COVID-19 situation, we would ask that you not attend, and that would be those that would be their caregivers. I think you ought to utilize the live streaming. You'll find out in a moment. We're going to talk about some things we want you to do, but if you're running a fever and at the time of a church service, we would prefer that you not come in and try to be a part of the service. Now, I'm going to give you a list. Let me tell you how many. I am very, very quickly now going to talk to you about 15 things that we want to do. Number one, we'll ask our people next Sunday night to use 3 different entrances to eliminate congestion and help us to practice social distancing. In other words, when you come to church, there'll be 3 different areas from which you will enter the building. Our regular front entrance, the one that we always use, it will be utilized. Then, all the way in the very front of our building, there's doors that walk into the front foyer, which is a missions display area. We'll ask you to enter through there. Then, in the back of our building on the old Cherry Point Road, there is a door that leads into the old auditorium or the Christian School Assembly Room. We'll have people entering there. So, the regular front entrance, the missions entrance, and the back of the building. You'll have to willingly pick one of those, and if you see a little line somewhere, go to another place, and we'll ask you to come in at those 3 different entrances. At dismissal time, when we're done, we'll exit under leadership's guidance using the same 3 entrances then as exits. So we won't all go out one way, meaning I'll dismiss us and we'll send people out all 3 directions so it's not congested and we can practice what they're suggesting, which is social distancing. Upon entrance and exit, people should be practicing social distancing. There should not be any congregating or talking in the church parking lot. You should enter and exit quickly and not jeopardize other people's health. They ask that there be 6 foot between us. When you come in, those 3 entrances will have little cones out there, 6 foot apart. We'll just ask that you keep that distance out there for us. Now, I'll tell you, there'll be all sorts of churches that won't open. There'll be others that will probably come under a lot of scrutiny and criticism because they're not trying to do it right. I think there's a lot of overkill and everything, but we're going to do it right, and we need to get back into church. That's how I feel about it. So, number 4, we'll ask families to enter together, sit together, and exit together. Number 5, there'll be signage regarding the expectations for our attenders. They'll be posted. There'll be a sign like this, and I don't know, Brother Tyler, is that sign visible? Can you all see that sign? Notice it says to enter. It says mask, gloves, temperature taken, or no entry. These will be posted at all 3 of the entrance areas. I'll explain what's on that sign in just a moment, but the signage will be very, very clear. Number 6. As always, visitors are welcome and encouraged to attend, but they too must abide by these stated guidelines. Number 7, We'll seat people in 3 separate areas. We all won't be in the auditorium. As you know, we pack our auditorium to overflowing, and with the desire to keep people with a little distance between themselves, we're going to use 3 different areas. We're going to use the regular auditorium, we'll use the foyer area, and then we'll use the old fellowship hall, or the big room that now houses our academy. That means some will view on screens. We'll make it so that you can see very clearly with good volume and everything in the fellowship hall. And might I say, be nice. Not everybody will get a front row seat, but we need to get back into church. Number 8. Seating will be designated and social distancing expectations will be strictly followed. You say, what do you mean by that? When you come into the auditorium, the seats in which you may sit in will be marked, and we don't want you moving them around. The seats will be distributed very, very strategically in the big fellowship hall area, and we don't want you moving them around. We're putting them in that distance so that we're trying to follow the guidelines that help us to get back into having church. Number 9. This is going to be a little uncomfortable for some of you, and I wish we didn't feel like we needed to do it, and we hope we won't have to do it for long. But listen, number 9, upon entry, every person of all ages will be given a complimentary set of disposable gloves. And so they're very easy. We'll give you a pair of gloves to wear while you come into church. And we have one size fits all, and we've got some others, and then when you take them home, you can blow them up. And you tie a little knot in the bottom of this, and you can draw a turkey face on the front of it, but you're going to get a pair of disposable gloves. And when you come in, you're going to be given a mask. I can't tell you how hard it can be to find masks and gloves and things. We've searched, but we do have enough. We'll give everybody a complimentary mask. Now, if you want to wear your own, you may, but it's a must. You'll have to wear the mask. You're going to need to wear the gloves. And then I would tell you, we have plenty of hand sanitizer. We have bottle after bottle after bottle. You know, we could probably make a lot of money off of this if we wanted to jack that price up, because we have enough to keep everybody's hands sanitized, but we've got sanitizer for everyone. Now, anybody that refuses to abide by the requests, they're just going to be asked to kindly leave. We need to get our church back open, and I think this is the right way of doing it. Now, number 10, before entry, at all 3 entrances, we'll have a no-touch thermometer. It looks like this. It does not touch your skin. They'll come up, place it near your forehead, push the button, and it'll tell us what your body temperature is. Anyone that has a fever of 99.0 or higher will be kindly asked not to attend the service for obvious reasons. Duke Health states that the body's normal and average temperature goes from 97.0 to 99.9. So, and when available, our church members who are doctors and nurses, they may help us with this procedure. Number 11, no bulletins or any type paperwork will be distributed. Number 12, will not pass the offering plate, and this kills me. We're not going to pass the offering plate, but we'll encourage you there'll be a table out like the drive-through in the parking lot. You could still give at trbcgive.com, or we'll have offering plates just like what we normally would pass. They'll be out in the foyer area. They'll be on a table. You put in, just so you know, you don't take out. So you put it in, but we're not going to pass offering plates. And you can understand why. We're not passing out paperwork. We're trying not to touch the same things, because we need to get back into church. Number 13, we're not going to handshake, and obviously no hugging. Number 14, we'll continue to totally and thoroughly sanitize all the areas of the church before, of course, and after each service. We've got our load, we've got Lysol, we've got the disinfecting wipes, and these are the ones that kill 99.9 of viruses. And so we're ready. We'll have a crew of people, and everything will be sanitized. And for those of you that are watching in, our skeleton crew, every single surface, after we have met, everything is sanitized. And you say, Brother Owens, was it necessary? I don't know, but we did it. And I really and honestly, we didn't do it because somebody in the government made us. We did it because I care about our people, and they told us somebody was going to get sick, and I didn't want somebody to get sick. So we're trying our best, but we've gathered the things that we need to get us back on track. Then the guidelines that we're mentioning here tonight, they're going to be posted on Facebook, on YouTube, and they'll be sent out via email. Matter of fact, they already have been once. I'm going to publicly remind us of these things, but everybody that comes needs to read them and agree to them. And I would say, hey, look, if next Sunday night you're scared about coming, we understand sincerely. We're not going to try to put pressure on you. There'll come a day when we're going to get back to normal. And that's why the sermon that I preached tonight, I don't want us to think we don't need to come to church anymore. We need to. But we have tried to be very wise. We've tried to listen to a lot of, I think, conservative and wise people about how to handle it. Now, I would say this also. The church leadership, we reserve the scriptural right to adjust our services again back to live streaming only. If for some reason the pandemic situation made a turn for the worse and there were a lot of infections in our city or in our county, it may make sense for us to back off a little bit. But as of right now, we feel like it's time to get back to normal. And I'll remind you of this. We're not doing this under government mandate. We've done what we've done because we love the Lord and we love our people and we've wanted to do the right thing. I was thinking of this verse and I'll be finished. Psalm 122 verse 1. The psalmist said, I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. Now I realize for some of you say, oh, that mask, those gloves. I know what you were thinking. Be inconvenient. And the theme that I like best about this whole thing, while you're here, please remember, don't lick the doorknobs. And I think everything will be all right. If you know somebody that wants to come to church, they want to be here physically, tell them to watch this. Watch it on YouTube. Tell them to watch it on Facebook. And there are all sorts of opinions right now. I wish I could listen to everyone's opinion. I wish everybody could advise me. I've tried to go to wise people and good people. So you know, there's no playbook out there that tells a pastor what to do at a time like this. We have prayed. We have organized. What we're about to do won't be long term. But we feel like it's the right way to give, number one, the right testimony for the Lord and to help people, and we want to get back to normal. God bless you. Let me say a word of prayer, and we'll be done. Father, bless the people that have listened to this little segment. I pray, Lord, they'll not be critical. I pray that they'll be supportive, and I pray we'll get back into church. Father, keep our folks safe. Keep everybody safe. Help our president. Help all of us to do the right thing. God, may we have a wonderful week, please. And we pray in Jesus' name, amen. God bless you. Thank you.